UFC 324 wrapped up about 3 days ago. Now it's Tuesday, and now I'm making a main card video about a fight that happened on Saturday. But, it's all right. Better late than never. We're going to talk about every single fight, even the women's fight. Starting with Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. We don't got to record on our phone now, so now we can look at the statistics on these fights live on the video. So John Silva versus Arnold Allen, unanimous decision. He wins 29-28 on two judges' scorecards and 30-27 on another ones. 30-27 is kind of retarded. Obviously, Arnold Allen won the first round. It looked like John Silva was going to get fraud checked because I was listening to the commentators, and why do I fucking listen to these guys? They always try to perceive my mind. They were talking about, the only two people to beat Arnold Allen is Marzar Evloev and Max Holloway. So if John Silva beat Arnold Allen, he would be in elite competition, and that's what he did. John Silva, he looks like he's going to be one of those type of fighters that build into the fight. In the first round, he wasn't really throwing too much. He was getting hit in the leg a lot. He was getting a lot of leg damage from the leg kicks of Arnold Allen. And it was looking like John Silva was going to get fraud checked. We can't talk too soon, though. I can't listen to these commentators. I got to watch that shit on mute. That's the only fight I saw live. Other than that, I fell asleep on every single other fight. Can you blame me? Because the next fight was Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. Can you blame me if I fell asleep during that fight? But we're going to talk about that shit after. John Silva wins by unanimous decision and fucking joins elite. Wait. Arnold Allen fucking got beat. What am I saying? Arnold Allen was 20-1. He got beat by Marcin Morazovic. Who the fuck is this guy, bro? Who is this guy? This guy beat Arnold Allen? This guy beat Arnold Allen back in 2014. Well, I thought Arnold Allen was undefeated. I'm retarded. Who else is retarded? Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is retarded. He thought Arnold Allen was from Canada. Now, Arnold Allen is top 5 ranked. He's been top 5 ranked. He was undefeated in the UFC for so long. What was he, 11-0? And Daniel Cormier doesn't even know that he's from the UK? What the fuck are we... How do we have these fat commentators on live and they don't even know where these people are from? The bare minimum. Funny moment, though, in the round 3. John Silva jumps on Arnold Allen. I'm pretty sure it was illegal. Literally jumps on him after Arnold Allen slips and falls. Autistically, John Silva fucking jumps on him and tries to fly away. That was a funny moment in the fight. That kind of woke me up. But then, next fight, Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. Not going to talk about this fight too much because it was a women's MMA fight. And obviously, it stinks up the card like every single time. Now, guys, can someone please name a fight? The last women's MMA fight that was actually entertaining. We had Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko as one of the blockbuster fights in women's MMA history. And that fight was just fucking boring because Valentina Shevchenko just took Zhang Weili down and held her down for 5 rounds. Now, I'm retarded for picking Zhang Weili. I thought lighter women's skill, it doesn't fucking work the same in women's division. In men's division, if you're lighter, you have more skill. In the women's division, you just barely have any skill, so size matters a lot. So Valentina Shevchenko just held her down for 3 rounds. Let me look at the stats of this fight. Unanimous decision. Natalia Silva wins 29-28. I'm not even going to break on the fight that much because I didn't fucking watch it. I'm not going to rewatch it because I don't give a fuck about that fight. Looks like Natalia Silva got taken down and held for 2 minutes. Now, that could have been on the cage. It could have been on the ground. Who fucking knows? Who watched that fight? I didn't really watch that fight. Moving on. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis. Obviously, I didn't make a prediction video for this fight because I was in Ecuador. But obviously, I was picking Waldo Cortez Acosta. And I was thinking maybe there could have been an upset. But Derek Lewis lands 8 strikes the whole fight. It was a 2-round fight. He lands 8 strikes. And then Waldo Cortez Jr. lands 44 significant strikes, 46 total strikes. And even gets a takedown on Derek Lewis. I thought Derek Lewis was untakedownable. But, he's older now. How old is this motherfucker? This is nice, bro. I can see the stats on my phone without having to fucking record on my phone. Now I'm recording on this, so now I got this backup. He's 40 years old. Coming off of 2 wins in a row. Wow. Taliesin Teixeira by TKO. Holy shit, this guy's a fucking fraud. Now, let me read out a stat that I seen earlier. There's only 3 active heavyweights in the division that are actually on a win streak. 4 that are coming off a win. The rest of these motherfuckers are coming off a loss. Can you believe that? How shit is this heavyweight division, man? UFC, it's just getting worse and worse every year, man. Last year we had some nice KOs, but the depth in this heavyweight division is just dead, man. We got Tom Aspinall. He's just going to beat every single person. Now, what happens when Ciryl Gane actually fights probably Alex Pereira in the White House card? What's going to happen then? They're going to fight. The winner's going to fight Tom Aspinall, and then what's going to happen after? Nothing, man. What you have, all you have is Volkov. Well, no one said Volkanovski. All you have is Volkov, Alexander Volkov, the fucking 6'8" man himself. And he already lost to Tom Aspinall in Tom Aspinall's best performance, losing in the first round by submission. Man, Walter Cortez Jr., the way he finished him, though, was with a jab, and then Derek Lewis just pummeled him on the ground, gave up, basically, from a jab that barely hit him, and then he got a bunch of ground and pound strikes, and then they finished the fight. Derek Lewis just comes in for a paycheck now, man. If it's not a unranked prospect or a prospect that's at number 13 and lower, then he's not beating them, man. I'm surprised he was coming off 2 fucking wins already. Wow, man. How did I not know that? He was coming off 2 wins with Rodrigo Nascimento. Rodrigo Nascimento's pretty shit anyways. Wow, he's had 4 fights since then, and he's lost 3 out of his 4 fights. Holy shit, bro. He used to be a prospect. And then Taliesin Teixeira. He TKO'd Taliesin Teixeira. That just shows how fucking shit this heavyweight division is. Because how are you getting TKO'd by Derek Lewis at 40 years old now when you are 6'8"? And Derek Lewis is about 6 foot. Next fight on the card, Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Now, I got to make a reaction video. What the fuck? Damn. This is dirty. I got to make a reaction video looking at comments straight after the fight, because a lot of people are saying that Sean O'Malley should have lost this fight. I think obviously Sean O'Malley won rounds 1 and 3. Obviously he won it. He could have won round 2 as well. I'm just saying he could have. I didn't think he won round 2, but he won rounds 1 and 3. Obviously, man. Song Yadong. Obviously, he's a fast-ass guy. He's 28 years old now. He joined the UFC at 19. We're always talking about this guy as a prospect. Now he's 28. So, time's ticking, bro. You're not really a prospect anymore. He's kind of stagnated in where he is in his career. He's stayed around number 9 to number 5 ranked for a very long time now. So, I don't think we have that much potential for Song Yadong anymore. He lost to Peter Yan. He's a champion of the division now. He had a close fight with him. Unanimous decision. And then he beats Henry Cejudo, which you should beat Henry Cejudo. And then he had a hard matchup against Sean O'Malley. But it was a close fight. Close fight. A lot of people are thinking Song Yadong won, but obviously he didn't win. The stats are 67 total strikes to 69 total strikes. So Song Yadong had 2 more total strikes, but, we're going round by round, damage-based scoring. Song Yadong was throwing a bunch of hard strikes. This guy's fast. He's also tiny and Chinese. So I could see why people want him to win. Sean O'Malley won, though. Finally coming off a win. His last win was in 2024, which is insane to think about. His last one was in 2024 against Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera, the fraud himself. I'm no longer a fan of you. As I don't know if you heard from last video or earlier in this video. I went to Ecuador. I'm Ecuadorian myself. And fuck Marlon Vera, man. You let me down every single time. Now I got my new Ecuadorian prospect, Michael Morales. Moving on, though, that fight was probably the most boring fight in Sean O'Malley's career, which is saying something, man. Because that fight was, better than any women's MMA fight that I've ever seen in the most recent year. And then we had Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I made a whole video on this the day after the fight happened. And all I can say is now thinking about it 3 days later, being able to reflect on this fight as if I fought in that cage myself. What the fuck was Paddy Pimblett doing the whole fight? Why do you come into that fight to strike with Justin Gaethje, the man who's a striker and only a striker? Literally only a striker and a leg kicker as well. He didn't even throw leg kicks. Justin Gaethje I'm talking about, didn't throw any leg kicks. It was more Paddy Pimblett throwing kicks. And Paddy, Justin Gaethje has lost every single title fight by submission. And you don't think to take this motherfucker down at least once? You tried to take down the steroid freak himself, Michael Chandler, the stubby man himself, bulky man himself, who's very hard to take down and keep down. You kept him down for 2 rounds, beat the shit out of him, and you don't think to do the same to Justin Gaethje? I don't know if he just wanted to strike with him, which is very retarded. Begs the question, does Paddy Pimblett have Down syndrome? Am I the only one thinking about this? Is this a question that only I have? Because how low of an IQ do you have to strike with Justin Gaethje when you obviously have the submission advantage and the grappling advantage? Justin Gaethje, his last fight against Rafael Fiziev, fair play, he took down Rafael Fiziev, finally used his brain, but that's Rafael Fiziev though. He's a striker himself. Obviously, he's going to want to go for a takedown because he finally used his brain. Finally used his wrestling. He was a D1 wrestler back in high school. I don't know if he went to college. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't go to college because he's fucking retarded. Look at the way he speaks. But Paddy Pimblett, after the fight, he looks like shit, man. His eyes are like, holy shit, they're swollen. I'm not going to talk about the fight too much. It was an amazing fight. Amazing fight. Everyone knows it was an amazing fight. I didn't get to watch it live, which is very sad. I'm so mad because of it that I didn't go to watch it live. But I'm just thinking, man. Not one takedown. Oh, wait. He shot 5 takedowns. But Justin Gaethje is the one who got 5 minutes and 55 minutes of 5 minutes and 55 seconds of control time. Most of it was on the cage. He got 3 out of 3 takedowns. None of them were really takedowns that he shot. It was more trips, and then he took advantage of it. But Paddy, man, Paddy. Why the fuck do you continue to strike with this motherfucker when you could have just took him down, handled him on the ground? You handle Michael Chandler on the ground. You can't handle Justin Gaethje. You guys, man, I said this in the last video. My opinion on this is the lightweight division is fucked now. Arman Tsarukyan, it's a shame he didn't get this title fight now because now we got to see Justin Gaethje fight Ilia Topuria, and we all know what's going to happen, man. Watching that fight, we all know that both of them would get knocked out by Ilia Topuria. He's just a different fucking skill set in the boxing. Who beats Ilia Topuria in this lightweight division? Even I think he could probably fucking knock out Arman Tsarukyan pretty easily. But definitely Justin Gaethje. It's a waste of time to make that fight. He's just going to get knocked down in the first or second round. That's what I'm picking. Second round KO. How do you watch Charles Oliveira get slumped by Ilia Topuria and think you have a chance? I mean, Charles Oliveira had a really retarded game plan, and he's also pretty blind without his glasses. So depth prevention is pretty bad for Charles Oliveira. That's all I gotta really say about this whole main card. It was a pretty solid main card except for the women's MMA fight. Kind of stank up the place. And then Sean O'Malley versus Song Yudong. We thought that would have been a nice banger. 2 explosive strikers, but, you know, sometimes when that shit happens, these motherfuckers are, like, very timid and don't want to engage because, you know, they're both fucking explosive. That's all I really got to say. My next video is going to be a prediction video of UFC 325. We got 2 pay-per-views back-to-back. It's nice. The Dawn has spoken.